What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another £1,000 Sisters video. And this one's a special one, and I tell you why. Because I have never, ever, and I mean ever seen season 1, episode 1. So this is going to be fresh for me. So I thought, hey, why not allow you guys to come along the journey? And plus, it's content. So yeah, I'm a creator, a content creator. If I get content, I create it. Duh, brain. Anyway, with that being said though, I'll be showing you little clips obviously throughout the video if you dig what I'm saying. Not the whole shebang, there's a copyright and all that kind of shenaz. But with that being said though, shout out every single person that is a member of the channel. And now let's get into this absolute madness.
My name is Amy and I'm 31 years old. I live with my sister Tammy, my husband Michael, and my dog Little Bit.
Is this the deja vu? Wait, hold up. 2 seasons ago, back in 2020, this show started. And when it started, Amy and Tammy were living together along with Michael, the husband of Amy, and their little doggy. Fast forward to 2022, Amy has moved away from being neighbors with Tammy, then has now got her own home with her husband, with their baby Gage, with their second baby on the way. The dog, I'm not too sure if it's still about because I haven't seen it in the most recent season, but this is the part that's the deja vu. But when Tammy gets out of where she's at right now, Tammy has been offered to go back where? To live with who? Amy, Michael, but this time instead of the little doggy, Gage, and the name of the new boy, whenever he arrives and whatever name he's gonna have. Wow. All I can say is this: we're talking about one of those videos when you say then and now. It looks like then Tammy was still living off of Amy's back and Michael, and then now it looks like Tammy's going back all the way where it all began in season 1. Wow, Tammy, you have made amazing progress within your life. Bear in mind at this time, obviously, Amy hadn't had her surgery yet, but she's had her surgery now. Tammy hadn't had her surgery then, but Tammy still hasn't had her surgery. You know, I say this like the way the energy I'm bringing it is. It's like I'm happy about it. I'm not. Okay, it's just the energy I'm giving you. Okay. Oh, you guys so judgmental, man. But the fact is, though, it is actually quite sickening and disappointing that Tammy legit has not progressed within the last 2 to 3 years. That's actually really sad. Like, yo, what the hell are you doing yourself, Tammy? Anyway, let's proceed.
I'm 32 years old, and we live in Dixon, Kentucky.
Recently, Tammy was in the hospital with really bad gout.
Why does Tammy sound completely different to how she sounds now? My name is Tammy and I live in something Kentucky. But now she's like, bitch, why the hell y'all talk to me like that for? Huh? Why you go do that for, huh? Wow, the transformation in her accent, that's quite interesting. But let's talk about the real problem. She was in a walker 2 years ago. Fast forward to now, she's now in a wheelchair. It may seem as if I'm taking the piss. It may seem as if I'm being a dick right now by clapping away, but yo, congratulations, Tammy. You literally went from worse to worst. No progression. Wow, this I know for sure this is gonna be one hell of a roller coaster of an episode for me. Oh my goodness gracious me. It's crazy because knowing what I know now, watching this is whew.
Now she needs a lot of help. When she got out of the hospital, me and Michael decided to let her stay with us for a little bit.
What? You couldn't write this. You're telling me, literally, this whole thing is like literally this is where we are now in 2022, being offered to go live with Michael, and oh my goodness gracious. You know what? I'm gonna lie to you guys. I'm literally 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 34 seconds into this episode at this moment in time, and you're telling me so far all I've had is just pure deja vu of 2022. This was 2020. This was all happening. We're back in the same place again. You know what? Usually we all say that, hey man, like this stuff is probably scripted by TLC or that kind of stuff. But the fact is, though, we have seen Tammy literally make no progress in the last 2 years. So we can't even say that's scripted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe we can say it's scripted for her to go back living with Amy, but I doubt it very much is. Like, yo, this is actually really sad. Really sad. Like, come on, man, be for real, for real. But hey, let's proceed.
Candy bar cake and applesauce cake. Let's see, what else do I need? Ooh, lasagna noodles. The main problem is having enough food to fill her up.
I'm sorry, but wow. Living with Tammy, the main problem is having enough food to fill her up. I'm so sorry. Oh my Jesus. Amy was cussing Tammy out back then, and Amy's cussing Tammy out still now. That's madness. Difference is, though, Amy was legit in the same position, though. Quite crazy how the humor is with these two. I mean, I guess the humor will never change, but hey, they wouldn't be entertaining without it, if you dig what I'm saying. But hey, this I feel like I already know what's gonna happen this whole episode already. I literally feel like I've already seen this before. 3 minutes and 12 seconds into it, and literally like this. You know what? Let's just go. That was one hell of a scene. And we all know TLC being famous for their scenes, but she was literally spraying that whipped cream as if there was no tomorrow. Like I had to keep like pausing it to make sure, like, you know, the segment wasn't too long for copyright purposes. You know what I mean? Like, do you know how long that was? Oh my goodness, that was literally a full like 30 to 60 seconds of. I mean, listen, folks, this is where we are. This is basically where we are. Well, this is where we was with Tammy, and this is where we still are with Tammy. I can still hear that whipped cream sound right now. Can we just take time right now? I'm not too sure how old Tammy was here, but legit, the size that she was at, or whatever age this is disturbing and just inappropriate. Is it inappropriate? Yeah, inappropriate. Like, yo, are we for real? For real? And do you know what's crazy in this scene right now? This is where Amy's talking about, you know, they grew up very poor, but they were always around fast food. And if it wasn't fast food, then the church would give them food. But I do always wonder, though, I always wonder this, how people who are poor, and I have to use this, can become overweight. Because this is the grand scheme of things. In my opinion, no, not even that. From my experiences, it is more expensive to go and buy fast food on a weekly basis, whether that be a daily basis or on a weekly basis, than it is to actually buy a week's worth of healthy foods. Everybody thinks that eating healthy is expensive. No. I contest that, because the fact is, I didn't grow up around money. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I had to find a way to make sure that my eating was good. Don't get me wrong, the food that was in my mom's home, it was literally like, I could have been fat any given time. You know what I mean? I could have been obese any given time. But obviously for me, myself, luckily I was a sporty kid, you know what I mean? And then once I got into my teenage years and I really started taking sports seriously, like, yo, man was just going and getting the cabbage, the tuna, the tin tuna, you know what I mean? And those things, really and truly, like, I could buy like 5 tins of tuna, you know what I mean? 1 per day for a week, right? And that would cost me literally a fast food meal. You see what I'm saying? Right? But also on top of that, like, you know, whether it be some rice, like Tesco value, Aldi, little Riley rice, like, yo, we're talking, what is it, 30p, 50p? 60 back then, but prices are more now. You know what I mean? Like, a bag of rice, that will last you a good, what, 2 weeks, month? It depends on how much you're having, you know what I mean? Like, people talk about healthy eating. Like, can somebody explain what is healthy eating though? Because I don't know why people think it's expensive. It really isn't. I mean, obviously, if you're buying like an extensive amount of chicken, but even that, you can buy a pack of chicken breasts that can last you at least 3 to 4 meals, and that will still be cheaper. In fact, that was used to be the price of a Happy Meal, $2.99. You know what I'm saying? So it really, my point is, it really baffles me when people say that, yeah, I grew up poor with no money, but all I had was food. I was able to eat fast food. But how did you pay for all that fast food? Because fast food ain't cheap. Fast food, smoking and drinking, each and every one of them is expensive. That is the grand scheme of things. And bear in mind, people, you will restock up more and quicker on fast food, smoking, and drinking, which in total will definitely be way much more than a healthy eating. Because remember, healthy eating is something that you stock up once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. It really depends. Obviously, fresh veg once every couple of days, but that is still cheaper and less than drinking every day, or smoking every day, or eating fast food every day. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm just saying, from my experiences, it's doable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up poor too, you know? Just wanted to get that out there because it really does get under my skin when people say that health eating is too expensive, because it's not. You just got to make it basic in your mind and really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, point of the story is that Amy says that in this scene right here, I don't know why I'm making that sound, but anyway, in this scene right here, obviously, she's explaining, obviously how they got here with the fast food and whatnot, but man, I don't know how old Tammy was then, but that is just so wrong. So wrong. Like, her mum was killing her, Nan was killing her from young, or killing all of the kids, to be honest with you. But anyway, I've run it way too much. Let's get into this, you know what I'm saying?
Be her size. Maybe by this time next year. I look at Tammy and I'm like, if I don't change now, I could possibly be her size.
Savage. So basically, Amy is obviously saying that, as you heard there, you know what? This is just a grand scheme of things. It is actually cool. I've always said that when you get someone that is big, you can have two people that are both overweight. If you get one that is bigger than the other one, then the one that's bigger makes the other one feel better, you know what I mean? But in reality, they both need to lose weight because they're both overweight. But the fact is, Amy looks at Tammy, and for God knows how many years, Amy used Tammy as an anchor in terms of, like, each time she looked at Tammy, she was like, well, at least I ain't as big as her. Well, at least I ain't big as her. So, you know what I mean? That was basically, so arguably, you could even say that maybe Tammy was initially Amy's motivation in the end to lose the weight. I mean, we know that obviously we know for sure 100% having a child definitely was the primary reason of her losing her weight. Hence the reason why she got engaged and why she's obviously now pregnant with another child. Which therefore, in my opinion, I do feel that once she's had her second child and she's not having any more babies, Amy will probably put more weight back on again. I don't personally see her losing weight again. And even if she does lose weight again, I reckon it'll probably be on the same circumstances before, and that is getting a gastric bypass or whichever gastric surgery that she actually got herself in particular. I don't know. It's just that, in season 3, we haven't seen Amy really make much of an effort to control her weight, you know what I mean? And that's just a grand scheme of it. In fact, ever since she's had Gage, it's been a myth. And also on top of that, Amy wasn't supposed to get pregnant when she got pregnant, in terms of, so when she got pregnant with Gage, that was too early. She's now pregnant with her second child. That's also too early based on her surgery and also based on her not reaching the actual goal of her weight loss. I know people love to sit there and boast, oh yeah, but she lost this, she did so well for herself. Yeah, she did, but no, she didn't, because she rushed everything. She lost a certain amount of weight, felt healthy enough to have a child, but didn't actually lose the amount that she was supposed to. And then she's done the same thing again, which tells me and shows and should show you guys that Amy, she probably, to be honest with you, I see Amy, she will never reach Tammy's weight because Tammy's so far gone now. But in terms of Amy ever losing weight again, to be honest with you, I don't think she ever will unless it is surgery based. But hey, that is just my opinion based on what I have observed. If you guys obviously disagree, that is completely fine. Let me know in the freaking comment section. I'm so weird. Yes. Anyway, let's proceed, and I gotta show you this. Look at this freeze frame, man. What a freeze frame. Oh wait, not the link up there, man. Look at the freeze frame. Oh my goodness. Sorry, do you know what that was actually mean? That was me face shaming, face and eat shaming, to be fair, both in one. I'm just a bully, you know? Damn. There you go, the people that say that I'm a hater and I fat shame. There you go. I've just proved it to you. Even though it's face shame. Okay, I'm talking too much. I'm talking way too much. Okay, bye.
They would push me, call me names. By 20 years old, I weighed about 500 pounds.
By the time she was 20, she weighed 500 pounds. And it's crazy because now she's 35 and she weighs near enough 700 pounds. If Tammy makes it to 40, she probably will be over 700 pounds. And then that'll be it. That's if she makes it to 40. Remember that if she makes it to 40, she'll definitely be in her 700s. I mean, it sounds savage, right? It sounds as if like I have no forget the word in my mouth. I have no belief that she's ever really gonna get to her weight. Well, her display has shown us that she's never gonna get to her weight loss. That's it. It's not even savage. It's called honesty, okay? I'm not savage. I'm just honest, guys. Telling you as it is. We've seen it. But let's get into it.
I've been in the hospital 3 or 4 times. I've had a blood clot in my lung that about killed me. I've been on life support twice.
You know what? I've never seen season 1, like I've already said. And I had no idea that she's been on life support twice already. And she's already been in hospital several times. But anyone that has been watching the Slaton sisters since season 1, you all knew this. Which means you was all holding this back from me, okay, in the comment section. Because I kept saying to you guys time and time again, I don't know where Tammy's, what's the word I'm looking for again? I don't know where Tammy's rock bottom is. And I've been saying that I don't believe that she's got one. But you guys knew already that she didn't have one. Because fast forward to 2022, she's been... The fact that she's been on life support twice, do you know what? The fact that she was on it once and that wasn't a rock bottom, that tells you something. The fact that she was in it twice and that wasn't a rock bottom, that tells you something. Been in hospital several times, that tells you something. She's now been in a coma, right? Okay? She's come out of it. So this is basically 3 times in a nutshell. And also in 2021, leading into 2022, she's in hospital twice already. Like, yo, this woman has nearly passed away 3 times and has been in hospital at least 5-6 times. But she won't do anything to better herself. Obviously, we've already spoken about the fact is there's obviously a lot of darkness within Tammy. That's obviously drawn her to this, you know, to where she's at. And obviously which therefore means that she needs serious psychotherapy. But we've seen how she is when it comes to therapy. Just want to know. Personally, I don't even know if I would even call Tammy's situation a food addiction type situation. And the reason I say that is because this is more than just an addiction. Whew, boy, this is a lot to process. Watching this, when you know what you know, it makes it even harder, man. I'm only like 8 minutes into it, and this video, this video's like nearly 20 minutes long already, and I'm only 8 minutes into. Hey, yikes! Okay, we're gonna be okay.
Amy has to help me wash off. Amy! I feel like I'm a burden to her. Can you go something, please?
I feel like I'm a burden. You still are. You was a burden then, you're a burden now. It's just loud enough for the mic.
Tell her that we're having weight loss surgery.
If I don't do it now, then I'm never gonna do it.
I don't think you make it. I think you'll chicken out.
Ah, the mother. The mother. Is it Darlene? Is it Darlene? Who gives a damn about what the mother's name is, man? She's trash anyway. But anyway, the mother. The freaking mother. Remember in the last episode of season 3, the mother is like, the way she changed her whole tone. I forgot what she said word for word, but she basically said that you are gonna make it now. This is your time or some freaking nonsense. But back then, and since then, she never had any faith in Tammy the whole time. Arguably, had no faith in Amy either as well, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, Amy proved her wrong. But this mother, man, what a freaking tool. And let's not forget, the mother was barely even a mother to them anyway, because they were with their nan, grandma, most of the time until she passed away when they were 10 and 11. You know what I mean? But
Quit! Amy kept insisting on me to use the thigh cruncher, but I knew I couldn't do it.
Tammy. Always telling us how she can't do this, she can't do that. And nobody understands the amount of pain that she goes through. I mean, listen, the fact is, if you ask me, Amy back then and Amy still till now is still trying to give Tammy ideas for them both to use to lose a little bit of weight. Literally. But you know what? Tammy just loves the excuse. Such a sad life. Such a sad life. I mean, I hate to say this, but I really hope people do use Tammy as a motivation. Sounds a bit mean, but if Tammy isn't going to do anything to better herself, then I guess anyone else that watches her who may be in the same position as her, or even isn't in the same position, even like myself in particular, when I watch someone like her, I'm just like, yo, I am so grateful for my health. I won't lie to you. And if you're someone that's maybe similar to you, then maybe you can look and be like, you know what? It's about time I start looking after my health. You know what I mean? Or even if you don't weigh nothing nowhere near her, you know, maybe you can look at yourself and be like, you know what? It's bad enough that I don't like myself now, but give or take, a lot of people who are overweight don't like themselves. You know what I mean? They ridicule themselves on a daily basis. They say negative things to themselves on a daily basis, which isn't good, to be honest with you. I don't think it's a good thing to be putting yourself down when you're overweight. I think it's a good thing to motivate yourself to get out of that position of being overweight, so therefore you don't have to think about it anymore. You know what I mean? That's just my perspective, because I like to look at things on the positive scale rather than the negative style, in the negative side of things. And it's just so sad, like, that Tammy doesn't seem like she'll ever be there. So everyone else, like, I hope you watch her and you be like, you know what? I need to have willpower. I can't be weak like her. I can't be making these things like her. You know what I mean? But of course, everyone's reasons of staying fit, being overweight, being underweight is always different. But the matter of fact is can you find that positivity that can bring you to where you need to be within your own specific, you know, height to weight deficit? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense, man. I said it.
For 6 years, I've only left the house for medical reasons. My biggest worry is that I might possibly have a heart attack.
Let's pause it right there real quick. But she's already been on life support. It ain't heart attack related per se, but she's already been on life support twice at this moment in time. And her worry back then was a heart attack. Did I hear that properly? Well, we all know that was a lie. Oh yeah.
Moving around more is a lot of stress on my heart.
I'm raising the seat up.
Sometimes it's just better to have no comment, right? Just sometimes. But then sometimes it's hard to have no comment, you know what I'm saying? So I'm about to comment real quick. You dig what I'm saying? And this one I'm about to tell you, okay? Tammy, shut the
You did really good, Tammy. I'm proud of you. Yeah, the hard part's over with. You just have to get in the van now.
Okay.
Damn. Bear in mind at this moment in time, Tammy had not left the house in 6 years, and she hadn't been in an actual vehicle for about 7 years. Fast forward to now, the life is still the same. Now I know why there's so many people around there that have such a strong hate for Tammy. I mean, I'm not saying because of her size or because of this, but it's like Tammy's got a bad attitude when she speaks. You know what? It's just Tammy as a person in general, isn't it? That's just the grand scheme of it, man. But at this point, she hadn't even shown her bad side yet, you know what I mean? But it was easy for me to tell you right now that if I'd seen this back then, I would have looked at her and I'd have been like, I can see that she's problematic. I can see that she's going to be getting underneath a lot of people's skins. But I won't lie to you, man. I have a lot of faith that, what's her name again? Vanessa from 1,000 Pounds Best Friends is going to be a whole lot worse. Which is kind of sad to say. Can you imagine that? A world where Tammy's already got underneath people's skin, but there's someone else that TLC is bringing to the table that's even worse? Anyway, let's proceed.
Growing up, we didn't get very much attention, didn't get very many hugs.
I'm not saying our mom didn't care. I'm just saying she didn't know how to show it. I'm thinking that her family didn't know how to show it.
You know, I believe that when we are born as children, it is our duty to do better than our parents, to be a better version of what our parents are. It doesn't matter how successful our parents were or how unsuccessful our parents were. It is still our responsibility to do better than they did. Whatever they leave for us, we go and do better. So to be honest with you, that's not good enough for me. Hearing Amy say that, you know, the mom never showed them love, and she assumed that maybe it's because that's how mom was raised. Well, that's not good enough. Because the fact is that it was their mother's responsibility to have kids and then to want to look after them and do a better job than their own parents. But this is the problem though. This is a generational thing. This happens in so many families. So many people are born into a certain lifestyle that isn't necessarily like a positive one or a loving one. And then what do? They carry that energy into, they carry that same philosophy that you know, they were in. They carry that same energy of how they were raised when they have children, and then they birth, and then they look after their children that way, and then their children go and do the same thing. That's why it is quite refreshing that in the most recent season that Amy has shown us that she wants to be a better mother than what her mother was, you know, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with all of our other siblings too, you know, and I think that is so important because that means Amy's trying her best to break that cycle, to break what her mom did to her, so therefore it doesn't happen to her child, you know what I mean? Which is beautiful, but that's what I want to hear from parents. I don't want to hear from parents here, but my mom did this. Yeah, but if your mom did something to you or your dad did something to you that you knew wasn't necessarily a positive thing, that damaged you in a negative way, that created like this trauma that wasn't good, then you know that you're not supposed to do the same thing. You're meant to do it in a much better way. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, let's get into it.
No, this is like the last chance I'll have. If I don't do it now, then I'm never going to do it.
Tammy gives up a lot. If she sees that she doesn't think she's going to make it, then she just gives up. She don't take that after me. I'm a fighter, raised 5 kids, so that's kind of her fault.
You know, a second ago, I just didn't say anything. Now, I really don't want to say anything. Because this woman right here, wow. she doesn't take after me because I'm a fighter. Tammy always gives up. That ain't how I raise my kids. Every single one of your child is overweight. Period. Her children didn't have to get to a stage of being so unhealthy that their fight then had to come out. Because at the end of the day, just because Chris was able to make it in terms of having the surgery, Amy made it in terms of having the surgery. I forgot the name of the other one, the blonde one. It's not Misty. What's the other one's name? Amanda, that's the one. Just because she was able to get surgery, right? Let me tell you something, little mommy over here, okay? That isn't necessarily what I would call a fighter. What I would call that is children that have been raised by a terrible mother that put their children in situations that they should have never been in, and then they've had to find a way to fight. Like, imagine all that fighting energy that they've had to battle with in terms of the weight. Imagine if they never had any weight issues and they could have put that fight into other things, you know, career things or just other things that were so much more important. You know what I mean? Things that could have really defined them, because the fact is, mommy over here, you've got one daughter that hasn't left the house for 6 years. You got another daughter that then had to look after your daughter that didn't leave the house for 6 years, okay? And on top of it, you also got to look after her man too. And let's be honest, she definitely has to look after him as well. You know what I mean? Then on top of that, you got a son at the same time, you know what I mean, who couldn't even go and do anything that he wanted to do. We all saw the episode where Chris thought that he wasn't going to be able to go on a roller coaster, but he was finally able to make it, you know what I mean? Like, the list goes on. You've done nothing to allow your kids to use their fight for things that could have really propelled them in life, that could have propelled them to be further in life. Instead, you allowed your kids to literally just fend for themselves, and you did nothing to guide them of the right and wrongs. You just let them just all become obese. This mother's got a freaking nerve. Yo, but okay.
Hearing my mom say that she didn't think we could go through with the surgery, it's kind of heartbreaking knowing that she's not on our side. But
proceeds to say all of these things while stuffing their faces in their burgers, and the mum sits there and watches them. Wow, pitch freaking perfect. Why the hell have I changed color? Hello, bro, come on. Fix up that melanin, man. Come on now. I'm saying, get that brown in there. Get that melanin in there, bro. Oh, yes. This camera's freaking racist, I tell you, man. It's always making me look gray and patchy and things, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man's got that flawless melanin, you know what I mean? Come on now, ladies, you know you like this melanin. Yeah. I'm just saying, man, like, Logitech be trying to do me over, you know what I mean? Like, trying to hide my true complexion. Okay, let's go.
When we were younger, we took her to doctor after doctor to make sure it wasn't tumors or wasn't anything to worry about. It's just her body has so much fat on her, it's coming out of her forehead.
You know, when this scene came up, I was like, okay, finally the four is going to be explained. But it wasn't. It was just Amy clowning as per usual, but that's what Amy does. I don't know how Amy, do you know what? Actually, no, I do know. I was going to say, I don't know how Amy and Tammy haven't killed each other yet, especially Tammy actually hasn't killed Amy yet, but then, I'll say it. Tammy physically just couldn't do it. That's just the grand scheme of things. Yeah. Anyway, anywho, let's carry on.
if I fall, they're gonna have to call an ambulance and fire trucks and cops and all kinds of people to help get me up off the ground. It's happened to me before. I never want that to happen again.
You know, I feel like backtracking to season 1, it feels so pointless. And it's not because I know what happens in the future. It's more because what happens in the future. Okay, listen, what I'm trying to say is basically, it feels so pointless recapping what happened in the very beginning, purely because what happened in the very beginning is legit what is happening now. Everything that Tammy is saying, we all know she never stuck to it. And it's just crazy though, because the more and more I watch this episode, I say to myself, Tammy legit does not have a rock bottom. Like literally, she's waiting, she's counting her days down. Like that's what she wants. Legit, like that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I guess we won't find out until season 4 comes out, right? Where she's at. Of course, we're gonna be doing our best, obviously, on this channel to try and keep updated with the things happening until then. But boy, it's just not looking promising. It's looking like a myth. Ish.
I am a little jealous that Amy's able to walk around more, able to do more than I.
I've been saying this whole time that clearly there's a lot of jealousy from Tammy, and this is, you know what, I've been saying it. That's just the grand scheme of things, you know. And it's crazy because watching this back and seeing the things that I've been saying are the things that Tammy was literally saying back then.
I can. And she's married, just everything. She's my younger sister, but she's farther along in life than I am.
Boom, bam, ladies and gentlemen. Legit, I've been saying these things. You know what? I don't even have to watch the rest of the season, man. I think this episode is good enough for me. It's literally confirmed every single thing that I've been saying, but it's crazy though, because who would have thought that the past would have confirmed the present? I mean, that does happen, but who would have thought, right? You know what I mean? Anyway, look, check out the meddling. Check out the meddling. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Give up because I can't do more and because of Amy. She told me this morning, I've seen you do without your walker, and I know you can do without it.
Already talking about giving up, and to make it worse, she's doing what she's always done. Using Amy as an excuse. You hear this? Projecting that Amy is the reason?
But if I'm not ready to do without it, why is she pushing me? I mean, I understand she wants me to get better, but...
You see what I mean? Amy, yeah, she wants you to do better. Like, Amy has been your anchor. She's been your biggest supporter. She's also been your biggest cusser too, you know what I mean? I ain't lied to you, man. She's been roasting you since day one, but she's also been helping you since day one. And you are one of the most ungrateful human beings on this earth. Oh my goodness gracious me. You know, Tammy and Amy may have been raised in a family without having a great mother, but at least they had themselves. And you know what? A lot of people would kill to have a sister like Amy, who, even though things ain't that great, at least when it gets bad, which is which is kind of a bit too late, but regardless of how bad things have been, at least Amy finally got to that stage of wanting to do better, and she wanted Tammy to do better with her. Tammy has never taken none of that stuff seriously. She's taken that for granted, and she's continued to blame Amy and to look at Amy as if Amy's this and that. Do you know what? Tammy's like this. Let me give you an example. Okay. Oh, I know this one's gonna stir up some drama in the comment section. Watch the women get triggered. But you know how some ladies, remember, see, I'm not generalizing, so listen to what I'm telling you, ladies, okay? Don't be coming and biting my head off, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we ain't biting nothing, but if you wanna, never mind, behave yourself, PG. Anyway, at the same time, look at it this way. There are some women in this world who are single at this moment in time, and they have single friends. But the second that they go and find a man, their toxic single friend tells them, oh, why you want to be in for? Blah, 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 blah. And they'll try and do things to sabotage that relationship, okay? Tammy and Amy is kind of like a similar situation. Amy, married, kids, whatever, right? Tammy, none of that stuff. Amy also lost weight. Tammy, none of that stuff. Tammy, instead of her trying to pick herself up and also trying to do the same thing and using the support of her sister, she would rather try and, not necessarily try and sabotage it, but she'd rather try and make her sister feel bad for her choices. But Amy even said it herself. Oh no, you guys didn't see that part. My apologies. Just before this scene here, Amy's sitting down with Mike, right? Because what's happening in this scene here is that Mike and Amy have gone off on the walk, but then they've left Tammy behind because Tammy can't do it, okay? And then when Amy and Mike have then sat down, what's happened is that Amy has then said to Mike, I know Tammy's probably sitting there cussing me out, saying that I'm this and that in her head. And the grand scheme of things, we fast forward here, and what's Tammy doing? Just cussing Amy out. You know what I mean? So that's what the relationship is like, literally, you know. But the only difference is, though, Tammy doesn't necessarily go out of her way to try and make things worse for Amy. She just tries to make Amy feel bad. A toxic friend, on the other hand, a toxic friend will do some messed up stuff. Some toxic friends, if they'll find a way to make that man unloyal. They'll find a way to make you see that that man is trash, you know what I mean? And most of the time, or some of the time, some of these toxic friends will try and sleep with their friend's new guy because they want to prove that he ain't nothing. And then if they do prove it, then they do prove it. But if they don't prove it, they then go and do some other madness. Oh man, women, why are some of y'all so toxic, man? Why can't you just love each other, support each other? Hey, some of you. Remember, I'm not generalizing. Anyone that calls me out in this comment section right here, right now, I know that you are that toxic friend to your friends. Why? Because you're in your feelings about what I just said. Yeah, you're part of the category of the sum. Yeah. Not generalizing. Covering my tracks.
We were told the diet soda will cancel out the sugar. That's some bull. They lied to us. Wait. This is gonna take some processing. This is gonna take some processing. And I've been afraid to buy a new one. This is the moment I've been dreading. Just made my heart drop.
$4.06.
406, and it's crazy because 406 food starts such a small number these days. Because, you know, I'm always consuming myself with £600 life and all that kind of stuff. 406, damn. I guess this is the moment where we get the famous Amy Slaton meltdown. Sad times, man, but motivational times.
Seeing that number on the scale just made my heart drop. This is the most I've ever weighed.
Well, the good news is Amy Slaton at this moment in time had reached her rock bottom. That was one of the pillars to motivate her to do better. That was the good news here. The bad news is that she's gonna need a new rock bottom to lose weight again after her birth.
$6.05.
Damn. And to think that now she's near that 700-pound mark. This was the moment that I'm pretty sure that everybody that was watching the show at the time thought was going to be Amy Slaton's rock bottom. The moment that Amy Slaton decided, you know what, I need to do better. But that wasn't the case. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it was already shown to us that she wasn't necessarily going to do better. Because at the beginning of the episode, as we saw, or as I explained to you guys, was that she had already been in hospital numerous times. She had already been on life support twice. And throughout the episode, she was indicating negative vibes majority of the time. Meanwhile, Amy, on the other hand, was projecting more positive vibes. So to be fair, you would have thought this face says, yes, I'm ready to get it. But sadly, she wasn't. She still isn't. And she may never be ready to ever do it. And that's lose weight and finally get that surgery that she wants. And then maybe start a family, if possible. I don't know. But nonetheless, though, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much near enough the end of that episode right there, if you dig what I'm saying. But hey, man, one hell of a roller coaster. But like I said before, I don't even know if I even crack on with episode 2, man, because I feel like that episode just defines everything that has happened now. Literally, That legit episode was the reflection of pretty much season 3 in a nutshell. Legit. I don't know. You guys know, I do know, but you guys let me know if you agree. But either way though, thank you so much for your time. If you made it to the end of the video, shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel. And please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel, and also like the video too. And I look forward to seeing your comments down below. Peace.